Hey guys, this is Lucas. This is my creative contribution number 12. So this video will be on elimination using matrices, and I have the prompt right here, and I'm just going to answer these 4 questions. The first question here says, or it asks to give 2 possible first steps to put this matrix into reduced row echelon form. So I just rewrote the original matrix C right here, and then I also wrote down what the goal is, which is to get 3 diagonal zeros with the rest, or 3 diagonal ones with the rest being zeros. And then the kind of what we're trying to find is, like, our answers will be right here. They'll be where these 3 question marks are. So one first step is to multiply row 1 by 3. And if we do that, we will get 6, 15, 6. And let's see, what's 38 times 3? -114. And here, and then we're just going to leave everything else the same. So we'll get 3, -6, -2, 1, 4, -7, 17, -12. And the main reason why we did that is because our next step after that would be to add those 2. So the second step would then be row 1 plus row 3 to equal row 3, which would then be, so the top row would remain the same, as well as the second row. But then the third row, this would be 0. This would be 16, and this would be -1. And this would be -126. And the reason why we did that is because the goal is to put a 0 there, as well as basically everywhere where there's yellow here. So those would be like a good first step, first 2 steps. The next question asks, explain why those first steps are useful. I think I just explained that. It's because we are aiming to have this result here. Question number 3, perform the following. Row 1 minus row 2 to equal row 1. Okay. So for number 3 here, row 1 minus row 2 to equal row 1. So that will be, let's see, I'm just going to copy and paste the original here. Or actually, we'll just do it right here. Cool. So that would be So the two steps to make that move would be to go to row 2 and multiply it times -1, and then to add it to row 1. So we'll leave row 1 the same, and then we're going to change the sign in row 2 because we're multiplying it by -1. So we'll net -3, 2, -4, -17. And then we're going to leave row 3 the same. And now we're going to add row 2 to row 1 to equal row 1. So it'll be -3 plus 2 is -1. 2 plus 7, or 2 plus 5 is 7. And then -4 plus 2 is -2. And then -17 plus -38 is -55. And then row 2 and 3 will remain the same. So there's that. And then last but not least, question 4 says, suppose you arrive at this step during your Gauss-Jordan elimination. What are 2 possible next steps? So let's see. Number 4. Just gonna write that out really quickly. Two possible next steps. So, step 1. So remember, we want zeros in those 6 slots. So since we already have them on the bottom left, let's aim to get zeros in that top right area. So I'm looking at row 1, I'm looking at this 2 right here. So a way that we can turn that into a 0 is we could multiply it by -1/2. So it'd be -1/2 times row 1 plus R3. Plus row 3 to equal row 1. So this would, taking this step would turn this 2 into a 0. And I'll show you how. So after performing that step there, -1/2 times times 1 is -1/2. -1/2 times -7 would be 7/2. And then -1/2 times 2 is -1. Negative 1/2 times 55 is negative 55 over 2. And then everything else stays the same. And then next, so we've already done this. Now we're going to do the second part of the same step, which is to add it to row 3 to equal row 1. So do that really quickly, which is 0 plus negative 1/2 is 1/2. 0 plus 7 over 2 is 7 over 2. 1 plus negative 1 is 0. Boom. We got that. And then negative 2 plus negative 55 over 2. So that's the same as saying negative 4 over 2 plus negative 55 over 2, which is negative 59 over 2. So this would be negative 59 over 2. And then everything else stays the same. So that's, I guess 2 steps. So yeah, just like break that down more simply into 2 steps. We did negative 1/2 times row 1, and then we did row 1 plus row 3 to equal row 1. That's it. Thanks for watching.